do not necessarily represent those of Revive FM or its management.
We'll meet again, don't know where, don't know where. Oh, we'll meet again some sunny day. Keep smiling through, just like you always do, till the blue skies drive the dark clouds far away. So will you please say hello to the folks that I know? Tell them I won't be long. They'll be happy to know that as you saw me go, I was singing this song. We'll meet again, don't know where, don't know when, but I know we'll meet again some sunny day. We'll meet again, don't know where, don't know when, but I know we'll meet again some sunny day. Keep smiling through, just like you always do.
But I know skies dry the dark clouds sunny. That's it.
So will
You please say hello to the folks that I know. Tell them I won't be long. Have a little sing song. And they're happy in the row that they use and they know I'll be singing this song. All together now. We'll meet again. Don't know where, don't know when, but I know we'll meet again some sunny day. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Revive FM. This is your drive time show with Scott and Hutch. That was We'll Meet Again by Vera Lynn in honor of Captain Tom Moore, who has died after a battle with COVID and pneumonia. It's very sad news, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, let's be honest, it's kind of not how we wanted to start the show, was it?
No,
I mean, I've got to be honest with you. I literally just pulled up at the studio and I saw the message and it was like Captain Tom has passed away. And I didn't want to sound terrible, but you know, when you saw that like the other day and they said he's not in ICU, but he has confirmed he has got coronavirus. And I'm thinking that does not sound good,
no.
Especially for a man who is 100. And I thought, come on, like if one person's going to survive it, let it be him. Like, I think, you know, he united the country last year. He did an absolutely amazing feat. I mean, raising £32 million for charity. And I can't remember who said it, but like to basically be a beacon for the United Kingdom.
Yeah.
And then for that to happen is just terrible. So, you know, if you ever sort of question lockdown or anything like that, just think about it the next time that you're going out, because that's now a family who have got a gaping hole left in their life. And that's not a way a man like that should have gone out.
No.
So honestly, I know that this might not reach him or his family, but obviously won't reach him. But Captain Tom, thank you for what you've done, and you know, everyone here at Revive FM, we send our condolences to his family.
That's such a touching tribute, Tom.
Thank you,
Thanks
mate.
very much. Right, We've got quite a lot of news to cover today. Obviously, it's is this how it feels? Is this how it's going to feel? I suppose when other great Britons like David Attenborough and
I'll be honest with you, I don't think the world's ready for it. I mean, there's always that awkward thing every time you see David Attenborough trending on Twitter.
Yeah,
and you think,
oh no!
Like everyone always goes, yeah. You think,
this will how it feel when the Queen dies. These are people of such significance and such great stature and such high level of praise that when they pass along, it's a bit hard to fathom.
Yeah, it's true. So, I mean, it's there's some people who they're almost like the fabric of your life, almost like they're a constant, aren't they? The Queen, like David Attenborough. I mean, even people like Stephen Fry.
And the thing is, this guy, Tom Moore, I felt had the same amount of stature as those people. It's because it become very much a mainstream. Everyone knows who Captain Tom Moore is. No one. It's not like, oh, do you know who the Prime Minister is? Some people don't. They just don't care. Yeah, not at all. And that's absolutely fine. But this was a man who everyone knew his name because he did such a good thing.
Exactly. I mean, I was even listening to a podcast the other day. It was a Chris Moore Show podcast because I'm a couple of months behind. And this was just after he was knighted. And, he was really, I think he was advertising his autobiography that came out. And he was very eloquent, well-spoken, immaculately dressed every time. I mean, the suit that he always wore, I always thought it just was a nice little touch. And he was always with it, and he was always happy to sort of talk to people and just to try and say that things are going to get better. And they will do eventually, but it's just, it's a shame. Why him? Right? Trump got it. Trump's still alive. Why did he survive and Captain Tom didn't?
And it's just, I don't know, man.
Yeah.
The president was given a magic cocktail of antibodies and tailored treatment, and
was domestos in there by any chance? Because that was what he was recommending at one point.
Yeah,
wasn't it?
I know. It's just, I've got almost no words.
I know. And there's also the thing, I mean, I was just saying about it when we were in the studio next door before we came in, and people were having a go because he went to the Bahamas.
No, you
Christmas.
can't. I'm sorry, you can't be having a go at a dead man.
Well, it's not that, but also,
and it's not even that. It's the man was 100, and he's never been to Barbados.
Exactly.
And you think, well,
Barbados, sorry, not Bahamas. Yeah.
If you can go, then you'll go.
And the fact is, let's call a spade here. I've got to watch how I say that because I normally say a different version of that. He raised 32 million quid for charity.
Yeah.
He is an ex-serviceman. The man has literally given his life for this country. He gave his life for this country. All right. And I can officially say that now that he is now passed away. What gives anybody the right to say he doesn't deserve to go away? Yes. All right. So I know there's the whole argument about influencers going off to different countries and all this sort of stuff for work and all. I get that. Right. I get that. But this man, he didn't break the law. When he went, he was allowed to go. Nothing stopped him. It was all above board. Okay.
Yeah.
The fact was he came back, he got pneumonia. Then he contracted coronavirus. The fact is the man has actually raised money. He has started a foundation.
He's lifted our spirits. He's raised morale.
Exactly.
And I think, do you know what a really disgusting thing about this whole year has been is not only does the UK have the highest death rate, we've had the most excess deaths this year in decades.
Yeah.
In decades. And that is something which is also sad about that because people's mental health is struggling, and he was sort of like a beaming light of hope, and it was something nice in the news. You could see not X amount of deaths happened today, not this, that, and the other. And it was a nice thing to see.
Yeah, that sort of, seeing him do the laps and it was 100 laps of his garden before his 100th birthday.
Yeah.
And it was just so nice that even when he did it, he got the Guard of Honor on the last lap. And when I saw that money piling up every week, and I mean, I think one time I had a 2-hour gap between looking at the news and things like that. 2 hours, I think it had gone up by about £6 million in 2 hours. I mean, that not even children in need or comic relief could do that.
Yeah.
But honestly, I mean, it's also like, and I don't mean this in a derogatory way. I think he's kind of up there with like Dame Vera Lynn. That, you know, that kind of like a forces sweetheart, like a nation sweetheart, that sort of thing. That uniting a nation. Every time you hear, you know, we'll meet again. It puts a smile on your face.
He's one of those people. There's nothing bad.
Yeah.
There's nothing bad to say about him.
Yeah.
You know, he's.
You hear that, trolls?
Yeah.
You hear that?
No, listen. The thing is, I don't like giving the trolls any attention, mate. I don't like feeding back into it and going, oh, you know, you guys need to sod off and whatever.
Yeah.
I just don't. I completely ignore them because they're obviously sad, petty people. What does it say about them? It says bad stuff about them, doesn't
exactly, because they're the ones that are unhappy. That's the thing.
Exactly.
I mean, do you know what? I actually had a mutual friend of ours had a troll the other day, and they weren't aware of it, but I told them about it because of a post that they put on social media. And the funny thing was that this troll had posted something back in 2019, and it was so funny. They put. What was it they put? Remember, we're not all in the same boat, but we are in the same storm. Remember, don't judge, be kind. And this person was judging, be kind. So I put, remember, insert name of troll here, who I'm not going to say. Remember, be kind. Hashtag be kind. Hashtag don't judge. We're all in the same storm. And he blocked me.
See, this is just, it's petty, man. Why are you even bothering yourself?
Do you know what? Because I've been bullied majority of my life, like since I was a kid. And I stand up to bullies now, and I actually take great satisfaction.
The thing is, mate, I was bullied in school as well, but I just take the high road. You know what I normally do if somebody is trolling, I just go, oh, listen, there's no need to say something like that.
Yeah.
Are you feeling all right?
Yeah.
Are you
okay, Hutch?
Sorry.
Do you need a hug?
No. Why? It's what's happening that you're being so negative towards me. Are you feeling all right in your life? You know, I'm here to support and kill them with kindness.
Yeah, that's it.
I think probably let's just quickly get back to Tom Moore as well. Rather than trolls. He'd not received a COVID-19 vaccine yet because of the medication he'd been taking for his pneumonia. They would have reacted badly. Yeah. But he was knighted by the Queen last summer. He raised millions of pounds, and you know the majority of his life he's been so professional. He fought in World War II. Overall, I think a total icon for a nation.
Yeah, I think so. I think, you know, I've actually, to be honest with you, one of my New Year's resolutions is to read more. And I've actually got his book saved on my Kindle. So I'm going to actually, I was going to purchase it anyway, but I think it's going to be a great story to read. And it's, you know, I just think it's really nice. And I hope that, you know, when our kids have kids or anything like that, I hope that he's up there with, like, say, you know, Lawrence of Arabia and things like, you know, like just that sort of folklore hero. And I hope his story does get taught in school, not just the fundraising, the charity, but what he did back in World War II anyway. I mean, it's I feel like that he deserves to be remembered, and I hope he does. So, yeah.
Excuse me. I think flags at half-mast.
Yeah, I would agree. So yeah, or
you know,
just even
he's a man we can hold in very, very high regard.
Yeah, you know, and even if, all right, I know we can't go back to pubs and things like that at the minute, but hopefully, I know the Isle of Man can, lucky devils, but hopefully when there's some, we raise a glass, or even tonight, you know, like I know Thursday it doesn't really happen now. Yeah. But there's the clap for our heroes.
Clap for heroes. No one's been doing it on my street.
Yeah, it's not happened this time, is it? I think everyone's just given up with it this time.
Yeah,
I think, you know what?
The thing is, though, you know how last lockdown they were like, oh yeah, Britons are more active than ever. This is the healthy generation, blah, blah, blah.
Everyone's lost their mojo.
This lockdown, everyone is inside more, and I don't blame them. It's winter. I went for a bike ride today, and it felt like summer. It was 12 degrees, but still, it takes its toll. And I think getting active in some shape or form is really important at the minute.
I'd say, yeah. Do you know what? Actually, I want to say something. I know that obviously I have a very limited reach, but can I make a suggestion? And this can be shared, retweeted, do whatever you want with it. How about either this Thursday or next Tuesday, we go out and we do a minute's round of applause for Captain Tom Moore. How about that?
Yes,
that would that would be really nice. If anyone can hear this, or if anyone's watching us now on YouTube or Facebook or anything like that,
do you know what? Let me tweet it right now. I think that's a great idea.
Yeah, can we share that? Let's do a minute's round of. Let's make some noise for Captain Tom Moore. How about that? 1 minute, 8 o'clock on Thursday. We do it not just for the heroes, but for him as well. Or we do it next Tuesday, and we do.
What time was Clap for Heroes normally? At 7?
8 o'clock on a Friday. Normally,
I thought it was
on a Thursday. Sorry,
8 o'clock on a Thursday.
8 p.m. on a Thursday. Yeah, I always remember because it was you'd see all my neighbours coming out around about 5:02, going, "Is it going to happen this week?" And it just took one person with a really big clap to do it.
Yeah, well, I mean, one time I accidentally went out on a Wednesday, but we'll ignore that.
That's all right. We'll just say that you were just really excited. You were just showing some national pride.
Yes,
but honestly, I think do it. And if anybody gets this or hears it or anything like that. Go out and give him a round of applause because let's be honest, the man deserves it.
It totally deserving of everything in the highest regard. Now, I suppose we're coming to the end of our segment here before we segue into some advertisements, but I was just thinking, let's run through a few things we're going to talk to our viewers to try and entice them to stay on after the break. We're going to be talking about door-to-door South African variant testing.
Yes.
Supposedly the UK variant has mutated again.
Yes.
We're also going to be talking about the reopening of schools.
Yep.
We've got random acts of kindness coming up.
That's
so
good,
please do stay tuned for that. Maybe something good's happened to you. Maybe you want to call in and tell us about how good your week was.
And I've also got a little bit of a story later on about our favourite dictator, no, not Kim Jong-un, getting a phone call from Piers Morgan, or so he thinks.
What?
I'll tell you about that later on.
Right, okay. Then we've also got the EU vaccine bundle of fun, which should be fun to discuss, and also the Northern Irish border issues, which are very, very good. Let's keep it going. Let's stay tuned, guys. I want to hear your thoughts. If you want to call in and tell us if you've had a good week during our random act of kindness segment, that's 0333 444 0940. Maybe it's a story of hope. Maybe it's something nice you did. Maybe it's something nice you've heard. That's 0333 444 0940. That's 0333 444 0940. Please do stay tuned. We'll be right back after this.
With the new variant of COVID-19, the most important thing for us to do to help save lives and protect the NHS is to stay home. That means no mixing with anyone outside your immediate household, only going out for essential shopping, education, medical reasons, or daily exercise. The NHS is still here to help you, so please keep your NHS appointments or call 111 if you need medical treatment. During these trying times, we need to take care of our physical and mental health. Keep a routine, eat healthy, exercise daily, and stay connected with family and friends. For more information, visit gov.uk.
Turkish Kitchen, the best Turkish food you'll ever taste. We only use the highest quality meat. Along with our mixed grill platters, we serve cold mezes, hot mezes, lahmacun, and a wide selection of fish options. To order for delivery or collection, call us now on 0208 507 8822. That's 0208 507 8822. Or visit us at 41 Ripple Road, Barking, IG11 7NT. We can also take group bookings and take care of all your party needs. The Turkish Kitchen, Barking.
Looking to get your finances in order? MR Accountants has you covered. We provide a full range of accountancy and taxation services, including annual and management accounts, self-assessment tax returns, VAT, bookkeeping, and payroll services. We ensure you're kept up to date with the latest legislation, and our client-focused approach helps us plan your business finances from savings to investments. We are MR Accountants. Visit our website at mraccountants.com or call us on 0203 432 9138.
ये आयशा है। ये बहुत छोटी सी थी जब इसके वालिद का एक हादसे में इंतकाल हो गया। वो अपनी माँ और छोटे बहन भाइयों के साथ रहती है। आयशा जैसी लाखों बच्चियां जिंदगी की बुनियादी सहूलतों से बिल्कुल महरूम है। यही वजह है कि वो स्कूल भी नहीं जा सकती। मिनहाज वेलफेयर फाउंडेशन ने आपकी एहतियात और अपनी खिदमत दुनिया भर के यतीम और बेसहारा बच्चों के लिए वक्फ कर दी है। एक यतीम और बेसहारा बच्चे का सहारा बनिए। आज ही अतिया कीजिए।
अभी कॉल मिलाएं 0300 3030 या हमारी वेबसाइट विजिट करें www.minhajwelfare.org.
Nikah, talaq, counseling on matrimonial disputes, Islamic wills, Islamic law of inheritance, or an Islamic verdict on any other issue. The Muslim Sharia Council is at your service. We provide official certification, and our experienced and highly qualified imams are available to provide you with guidance when needed. MQI London is based at 292 to 296 Romford Road, Forest Gate. We are open from Monday to Friday, 2 to 4 p.m. or alternatively, call us now on 0208 257 1786.
Could you look a shop assistant in the eyes and tell them your trip is essential? Can you honestly tell the cashier you keep a safe distance from other shoppers? Hand on heart, do you always wear your face covering over your mouth and nose? The more often you leave home, the more likely you are to come into contact with COVID-19. Try to shop less often, and if possible on your own. Stay home. Protect the NHS. Save lives. As winter approaches, here's a critical reminder of coronavirus symptoms from Dr. Gupta.
The main symptoms of coronavirus are a high temperature or a new continuous cough or a sudden loss or change in your sense of smell or taste. If you have any of these, to protect yourself and others, it is critical you isolate at home, even if you don't feel too bad. And you must book a test immediately. Use the NHS COVID-19 app or go to gov.uk/coronavirus.
Stay alert. Control the virus. Save lives.
Revive FM
94.0. On the radio.
on your mobile.
And online. Hello. You're listening to Revive FM. My name is Henry Scott, and this is the Scott and Hutch show. I'm Scott, and he's
Hutch.
and we're back in the studio.
Okay, I know. I was going to actually say that earlier on. Have you noticed that we did that? All right. I know we
We
didn't really
have-
allude to it on the start of the show, but it's like, yes, we're actually back.
Yeah, we are back in the studio
It's the
because
first one since mid-December.
we're socially distanced,
Yeah.
and the rules apply. We the station has checked this thoroughly.
Yeah.
It's fine for us
We
to
are
be
good.
here.
Yeah, we're 2 meters apart. We come down.
Well,
in
a bit
separate
more
cars
than 2
anyway.
meters,
Yeah.
mate. I'd say we're a good 2.5, 2,
Yeah.
3.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
like I said, we come down in separate cars anyway, and we're all good in that respect.
Yeah,
so
yeah,
it's, we've got hand sanitizer here, and when we swap over, we wipe everything down, and it's all corpus mentis. So we are
Yes.
absolutely fine. Plus, I can't believe we're going to say this, but we are technically key workers.
Yeah,
as
we
well,
are. No,
which
because
does
we're
count,
local.
yeah.
We're volunteering, and it's local radio.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. Let's get on with it. Now, the UK has vaccinated almost 600,000 people
In a day.
today.
Oh, today.
Today.
Brilliant.
Today.
That's close to the record that we had on. Was it Saturday or Sunday?
Well, it's massively over the record.
Oh, brilliant.
Yeah, no,
And we've
it's
got
huge.
the top. Everyone in care homes who is eligible
has been
also-
offered a vaccine.
Yes, they've had that. So I think we are actually all good in that respect. So it's nice. We've now got the top number one priorities have all been vaccinated, which is fantastic. So
Yeah.
hopefully,
So, and we're at 9.2 million people now,
Yeah.
which means we're nearly, and we're actually ahead of schedule now.
but is it 13 million or 15 million?
15 million by in 13 days.
That's it. That's
No,
what
by
I
the
think so.
15th.
Oh, 15th.
13 million in 13 days.
Yeah.
Sorry, 15 million in 13 days. So
Yeah.
that's 6 million. Let me just quickly check this for us. So it's
So
numbers 6 million.
6 million. Oh, now you're testing.
Yeah, I know. Divided by 13, which means if we can vaccinate more than 461,000 a day, we will have vaccinated the whole of the UK. Vaccinated that at-risk group, all that categories, all those 9 categories in under target.
Doesn't
We'll have done it
go to
under
show you that
target.
The uptake was, people go, "Oh, I'm not having the vaccine. I'm not doing this. I don't know what's in it." Well, I think the anti-vaxxers are getting a bit of a lecture,
Yeah.
aren't they now? Because let's be honest, we've had nearly 9 million people have the first jab. We've got the top priority already done. I mean, they're already talking about sort of. I mean, again, it depends on what news outlet you look at, but to actually have the potential in March to have some of these restrictions lifted is really good. So hopefully we can start sort of getting back to normal. And we can go back outside. I mean, look at the Isle of Man. They've got 15 confirmed cases this week. No deaths. They've now got no social distancing measures at all. You can go to the pub. You can go to a restaurant. You can go out shopping. I mean, and before anyone gets any ideas about going over there, You've got
to self-isolate.
Yeah, you have to self-isolate for 3 weeks.
3 weeks?
3 weeks. 21 days of self-isolation as soon as you arrive on the island.
Well, that's the way to do it, isn't it?
I know. But in fairness, it's obviously worked, isn't it? So, I mean, unless you're a man who's, decided to get on a jet ski and go there for a couple of days.
Yeah. Anyway, here you go. So we got a little vaccine row going on this last week.
Oh, yes. Yes, we have.
We also want to know your opinion about this. Are you mad about the EU restricting vaccine supplies and exports? Call in on 0333 444 0940. That's 0333 444 0940. And what we've been seeing is that in Northern Ireland, port checks between the UK and Northern Ireland have been, the staff who check those ports have been receiving threats.
Really?
Yeah, from paramilitary groups.
Oh, and here we go again.
Yeah, no. This is the thing, though. This is why this Brexit deal is probably the worst thing to happen ever. I did an EPQ on this very topic. Is Northern Irish a history of Northern Ireland? Is the Northern Ireland going to secede to the Republic?
Yeah.
And my conclusion was from that project is that it could happen in 100 years.
Yeah.
Because the divide in that part of the country is so bad that if you try to do that, the pro-unionists there'll be violence. But that's just a simple thing.
But Northern Ireland has openly said they do not want to go back to the Republic. They want to remain part of the United Kingdom, don't they? So,
well, no, that's just the nationalists. Sorry, that's just the unionists, though.
Yeah.
The nationalists want to go back. And it's about a 50-50 split, mate.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So what you've got is one side saying, no, we like the United Kingdom, and one side going, no, we're Irish, we want to be in the Republic. And it's not changing, it's just getting...
It does make you think, though, if we have...
Tougher.
Let's say if after a couple of years that the whole Brexit thing starts changing the landscape of the United Kingdom, if Scotland leaves or if, God forbid, Wales decide they want to go out on their own or anything like that, it does make you think, will that actually start stirring up things for people? And will they want to actually, will it encourage more people to actually say they want to join the Republic as opposed to staying as part of the UK? It's a bit of a real worry,
It's it is a massive worry. And you've got Tony Blair, you've got people like Gordon Brown speaking about federalizing the UK, having a presidential post, changing the way that our democracy works, splitting up England, because the thing is, you can't have devolved administrations and then England is 56 million people and then 3 devolved administrations just because they're of a different identity. You'd be better off having Northerners, some different Northerners, some Birminghams, some Midlands, London as a separate entity, and then working off federalism in that way. The system as it stands isn't working.
So what would it be then? You'd have like a prime minister for each devolved.
Yeah, you'd sort of
it's like a president, which would be then overruling them.
Well, imagine the UK, but running under not the same American political system. Everyone still has an MP. Everyone still has their local council. But what we're saying is that you divvy up certain areas in large swathes and you have states.
Yeah.
So you have Northumbria, the state of Northumbria in the UK. Or we call it, like, we make it sound more English because state sounds very American. But do you get what I mean?
Yeah.
It's splitting.
The county.
In the UK, in America, you've got Congress people for every district in different states.
Yeah.
And then you've got senators, and there's 2 senators for every state. So imagine that we had a representative for every district in the UK.
Okay.
As with, you can kind of look at it like this: First Minister of Scotland, First Minister of Wales, Joint First Minister of Northern Ireland, and Prime Minister of the UK. But technically, Boris is only the Prime Minister of England.
Yeah. I don't know. I just think it's going to cause such a tear up. I mean, I know the political system.
I think it needs to happen though, because there's certain things like the North in the UK is incredibly deprived compared to salaries and poverty rates down in London and other districts of the UK.
But that's such a problem because obviously the government is centred in London.
And there's a lot of power centred in London as well, and people go where money and power is.
Yeah.
And also, here's the thing: London gets more funding than the rest of the UK because there are more people, so it needs more money.
Yeah.
And so if you get rid of a bunch of people from London and send them out into the rest of the UK, firstly, they spread their wealth. I mean, this is all just my opinion, by the way, based on like loose economic knowledge.
Yeah.
Is it's about, you know, when Boris says leveling up, he's going to do a terrible job because he does a terrible job at everything. But that's just in my opinion. Yeah. But in terms of leveling up the UK, it's important that massive spending goes into other districts. You know, we've got the tube in London.
Yeah.
Then Birmingham has a tube? No. It's a massive city.
Yeah. I mean, Manchester's got the trams and things like that.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's even, I noticed it's not just in London as a whole. It's like North and South London. There is a massive divide there. You know, everything is more centered in North London. When you go to South London, I mean, it's going to sound really stupid. I've only been to South London, if you don't count Greenwich, like proper South London. I've probably only been about 4 or 5 times in my life. Yeah. And it feels like a completely different area.
Doesn't it?
It doesn't
because
feel
there's
like
no
London.
tube.
Yeah.
You know, everything's national.
It's minimal, isn't
it? You know,
it's
firstly, it's minimal.
And Bakerloo, Jubilee, and Northern.
Exactly. And I think there's that disparity doesn't help. I think that is a big cause of a lot of resentment, especially among Scotland, Northern Ireland, Wales. I mean, hold on. I have to exclude Northern Ireland from that statement because Northern Ireland is Northern Ireland.
Yeah.
And it's always going to be that way.
Yeah. It's not unless they build a very big train line going across.
Oh, well, funnily enough, Tom, they said they wanted to do that.
Yeah. When was that going to happen?
Now, I mean, moving away from that whole jazz, you know, going back into the whole coronavirus segue thing and considering the UK, Scotland is announcing that it will be returning from Scotland has announced it will be opening schools on the 22nd of February.
Yeah, 2 weeks before the UK does.
Yep.
But then bearing in mind, they have technically, haven't they been in lockdown longer than us, if I'm right? Or longer than the UK? Longer than England has, if I'm right?
I think they have. I think, didn't they cancel Christmas?
Well, in fairness, I think everyone cancelled Christmas. It was just the tail end of the year that never was, really, wasn't it? So it's but yeah, they're talking about it. I mean, I don't know. I suppose if they've got it under control, but it'd be interesting to see now because you could technically use that as a litmus test. If the figures start going back up again, infection rates start going up, deaths start going up, then there's your concrete evidence. It's the schools.
Yeah,
because it's not.
The thing is, Boris Johnson said schools are safe. Schools are safe.
Wow.
And I'm sorry, he's largely right because schools are safe for your children. That's science. No children die 0.0014% of the time from this disease, right? And these stories of hearing our ICU ward is filled with kids, blah blah blah. That's only happened because we've had so many more cases.
Yeah,
we've got double the amount of cases per day that we've had back in March.
Well, that's been going down though. Have you noticed the last couple?
Yeah. No. The lockdown is working, so everyone needs to keep doing what they're doing.
Yes.
We're come on, we've got this. But here's the thing: schools are safe, but they're a vector for transmission, and that's what Boris Johnson said in his address. And I looked into this. I was like, right, okay, are schools safe? Schools are safe. Yes, kids don't die from coronavirus, but what do kids do? They mingle and they pass it on. And who do they pass it on to? Their grandparents. Their parents who are at risk.
Yeah.
Their vulnerable brother, their vulnerable sister.
It's true. And try and tell a 3-year-old, sorry, you can't go more than 2 meters away from someone. I mean,
and this is what teachers have been saying this whole time. And some people say derogatory things like, the unions just don't want to work. They don't want to go to school.
That's
not it, is it?
Put it this way. You wouldn't get into a teaching position if you didn't want to do it. You know, you've either got a passion for it or you're in it for the money. Either way, not that that's a bad thing, because let's be honest, we are a country that is driven by money. Let's be brutally honest.
Well, this is the thing. I think we need to start talking about a wider picture of what happens after coronavirus, man. Because we seem to be fixated on the idea that money is everything.
Well, let's be honest, we're not going to have any when this happens, because we've seen already that taxes are going to be going. Council tax has been going to be increasing by 5%.
Yeah,
so that's going to be
VAT is going to go up.
VAT will go back up again. This obviously.
And do you know what's really bad is we shouldn't be doing that until the economy is back on its feet.
Yes,
because it's a regressionary it's a regressionary supply side policy. Yeah. What's that going to do? Shove the economy in the toilet, make it harder for people to go out and spend money. It's going to give them less disposable income to go and buy stuff. I think we need to forget the idea that GDP is a measure of success. Don't you?
Well, I think also
why do we determine how successful a country is based on the
its
fact,
GDP, yeah.
based on how much money it's got?
Well, the problem also that we've got is that we are. I think soon. I mean, they're trying to get people to go out on the high street. Well, I think if we leave it much longer, we're not going to have a high street to go.
I'm sorry. Have you seen the high street out of the studio? It's been decimated.
Yeah.
A high street in Loughton is on my high street, Loughton High Street, decimated.
Yeah.
Leytonstone High Street, decimated.
Yeah.
And do you know what's really bad? Is that do you know what's really funny as well? You know Walthamstow High Street?
Oh yeah.
Walthamstow High Street's doing okay, right? But it's been doing so much better since they got rid of all the cars.
Yeah.
And all the businesses were like, don't get rid of the cars, we need them for money. But they've made more money since that happened.
Exactly.
I think that needs to happen more across the UK.
They were talking about, I mean, they've been saying about it for, well, like even when I was, since I was your age.
Yeah.
They were talking about pedestrianising Oxford Street.
Yes, do that.
I mean, when they tried, do you remember they did the a couple of days before Christmas? Do you remember, like, for a few years, they did it where they closed off Oxford Street, or they closed off, I think it was from, they kept Tottenham Court Road open, but New Oxford Street all the way up to Marble Arch was pedestrianised for a Saturday. It was like I think it was supposed to be, around like the whole Black Friday time, like the last week of November or first week of December. They did it and they pedestrianised it. And all right, apart from the fact that it was like, a rugby match with about 20,000 people versus 20,000 people, and you'd be tackling people and things like that. It kind of worked, and it encouraged people to go out and spend more. They made an event out of it. They'd have musicians out there. They would have people with balloons and bubble ones, all that sort of stuff. So they tried to sort of make it like a bit thing, and it did actually work. But the problem is now, when you've got things like ASOS, who's just bought some of the remaining Arcadia franchises,
and you know what they're doing with those businesses? They're moving them online. They're buying the warehouses. They're burning the stores. They're losing people their jobs. And this is all just a more burden. The high street is not going to exist after this.
Well, put it this way. I mean, there's the the famous Toys R Us store that was in Times Square.
Mm-hmm.
It was like 3 levels, had a Ferris wheel in it. Obviously, Toys R Us went bust a couple of years ago in the States, obviously in the UK as well, but it technically runs a separate company. The rent on that each year, I tell you what, have a guess how much the rent was. So it's
it's like £10,000 a month, isn't it?
$48 million a year. $48 million a year to rent that building out, and now it's going to be a gap.
Well, I mean, what can you do?
Well, I don't know. I mean, I still say they should have kept that Ferris wheel in there. I mean, it would have made an interesting changing room, but it's but I think this is the problem. I think these companies that rent these buildings out to people, they the rents are just ridiculous, and this is why Mike Ashley always does so well, doesn't he? Because he tries to sort of negotiate a deal with the actual rental with the landlords.
Yeah.
And if he doesn't do it, then he pulls the plug and goes, "Well, sorry, mate, I'm gonna take my business elsewhere." And the thing is, he normally wins, and that's the thing. I think that's how he managed to sort of do things with Game and stuff like that. He tried to do it with HMV as well because he was going to make a bid for that, but he lost out. But sometimes they have to look at these companies and see why are they charging such high rents, because it's killing off the high street, really, isn't it? And then which then has an effect, because when people do get some money, they've got nowhere to spend it, so they go and spend it online. That's the crux of the matter,
That is the crux. And speaking of a crux, we've got a station's crux, financial crux. I don't know. Either way, let's just ignore that. We're going to go to some ads. I think the UK does need a total reboot. We need the UK 2.0, don't you think?
Yeah, just like we have ads 2.0 is in the second lot of ads coming up now.
Exactly, and that's that.
This is Aisha. Her father died in an accident at a very young age. She lives with her mother and siblings. There are millions like Aisha who do not have access to the very basics of life, resulting in her and many others not being able to attend school. Through Minhaj Welfare Foundation, your charity is dedicated towards supporting the full needs of orphans and needy children around the world. Donate today. Call us now, 0300 3030 777. Or visit us on minhajwelfare.org.
COVID-19 remains highly contagious, and even people without symptoms can spread it. So we need to keep using hand sanitizer in shops, keep wearing our face coverings on the bus, keep making space at the school gates. And now we're indoors more, we should let fresh air in to help blow COVID-19 particles away. Let's keep doing all we can to protect each other and help stop the spread. Remember, hands, face, space, and let fresh air in.
With over 40 years' experience in the industry, Plachette Carpets is the place to go for all your carpets, laminates, linos, and wood flooring. We have an established network of suppliers, which means we can offer some of the best prices in town. We offer free estimates, free measurements, and now even free fitting. Call us now on 0208 472 8568 or visit us at 157 Plachette Road, Upton Park, London, E13 0QZ.
Thinking about selling or letting your home? With Maxwell Estates, you don't need to look any further. Well established with over 15 years of experience, Maxwell Estates are specialists in residential sales and lettings. We manage over 200 properties in and around Northwest London, keeping our landlords and tenants updated with all the latest laws and legislations. Based in Edgware, our experienced specialist negotiators always ensure we maximize the full potential of your property. Call us now on 0208 952 0808 for a free no-obligation quotation, or visit our website www.maxwellestates.co.uk for further information. Maxwell Estates, the name you can trust.
কোভিড-19 এই নতুন রূপান্তরটা তাড়াতাড়ি ছড়িয়ে পড়ছে। যাদের কোভিড-19 হয় তাদের প্রতি 3 জনের মধ্যে 1 জনের মতো লোকের কোনো উপসর্গ থাকে না, কিন্তু তবুও তারা সংক্রামিত হতে পারে, যা লোকজনকে গুরুতর অসুখ হওয়ার ঝুঁকির মধ্যে ফেলে এবং আমাদের এনএইচএস এর উপর চাপ আবারও বাড়িয়ে দেয়। ভ্যাকসিনগুলি ভবিষ্যতের জন্য স্পষ্ট আশা দেয়, কিন্তু সংক্রমণের হার বেড়ে চলার কারণেই এখনই ব্যবস্থা নেওয়া দরকার। আবারও আমাদের সকলকে অবশ্যই বাড়িতে থাকতে হবে। যদি বাড়ির বাইরে বেরোনো অত্যাবশ্যক হয় তাহলে মনে রাখবেন, হাত ধোবেন, মুখ ঢেকে রাখবেন এবং দূরত্ব বজায় রাখবেন। বাড়িতে থাকবেন, এনএইচএস কে রক্ষা করবেন, প্রাণ
A
বাঁচাবেন।
warm welcome from myself, Sangeeta. With the new variant of COVID-19, the most important thing we can do is stay home. We'll hear now from Dr. Sonakshi Khurana. We all want to take good care of our physical and mental well-being. Can you advise how we can do this?
It's really good to have a routine so that you're balancing your work and family life and getting a good night's sleep. If you are homeschooling, there are some excellent resources available to help you, such as Oak National Academy and BBC Bite Size. Stay connected. Give your friends and family a phone or video call. Remember that it's good to talk about how you're feeling. Talk openly with your children to give them support and reassurance about their education and other matters. And we should all continue with regular physical exercise and eating healthily.
Dr. Khurana, thank you very much. Remember, guys, to only leave home for essential shopping, education, work, medical reasons, or to exercise once a day. For more information, you can visit gov.uk.
Revive FM
94.0
on your mobile
and online. Hello, you're back with Revive FM, and you know what time of the week it is? If you're feeling down, time to stop that frown. If you're feeling blue, time to put on your shoes. I don't know why I don't feel that. So sad or kind of bad, because it's random acts of kindness. There we go. It's random acts of kindness. Are we ready? We are ready, sir. Right, I've got 4. Well, to be honest, it's random acts of kindness, but it's also kind things that have happened to people during the week.
Yes.
And I just thought random acts of kindness sounds like socially media popular.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
That's what we call kind of one.
So I've got a guy. My keys fell out of my pocket while I was running in central London, and I had a guy with a guitar case run with my keys back to me to return them.
Nice.
Isn't that nice? That is Hector from central London.
Oh, brilliant. I've got one here from Sarah, who contacted us online. So hello, Sarah. She said that her dog went missing and put the message out on their local neighborhood watch group chat. And because there was no collar, like they haven't put the name on the collar or anything like that for security reasons. And it was actually found and returned to her within a couple of hours. So honestly, very well done on that. So I'm glad
your dog's back.
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah.
I've also got a funny one here from a friend. He says, well, what good things that have happened to you this week? And my friend James said, speaking to you. Oh, James.
What does he want?
Thanks. He doesn't want anything. He's a nice guy.
I've got another one here from David, again, who's contacted us online. If you do want to contact us, you can, we always put it out just on our
profiles
on Instagram.
So it's what official.
I'm
Tommy
at official
H,
Tommy H,
and I'm Henry VJ Scott.
There you go.
So it's every week before the show, or maybe you've got something you want to message us like midweek. Just look us up on Instagram. Same profiles for Twitter. Message us.
Exactly.
We want to hear your stuff.
Exactly.
It's a nice share moment.
So we've got
or comment. People are listening on
yes.
the Facebook Live and YouTube right now. If you guys comment as well, that would be lovely.
Yeah, because we can get those live up on the monitor. And everything.
Exactly.
So, I've got David as well, who's contacted us just to say that neighbours. He's having to self-isolate at the moment.
Okay.
Because he's come into contact with someone, and his neighbours have actually been checking up on him and doing dropping food off for him as well.
Oh, that's
so,
lovely.
Yes, they've actually been just taking his food shopping and then leaving it at the door and everything. So he's still getting his food in, and it's really good. So there is a bit of a community spirit still.
Do you know, I've got another one for you, and it's similar to the dog thing. Is me and my girlfriend were out walking our dog in the snow last week when she didn't really want to come. So in spite of being dragged out of the house, she ran away and was found by a couple who then brought her back to us while we were looking for her. Isn't that nice?
Sorry, we're talking about the girlfriend or the dog here? Sorry. That's such a crappy DJ.
That's such
DJ
a...
joke.
No, shut up. Oh, my goodness. Oh, my goodness. Oh, lordy lord.
Oh, I'm so sorry. That tickled me.
So dodgy. Right, have you got anything else?
No, that was the only ones I got this week, I'm afraid. Have you got another one? Or?
I do have one more. It said I was volunteering down at my local church and somebody came in and dropped off over £300 worth of food in food parcels for us to donate to the local area.
Nice.
So thank you to them. That is Miranda from Leytonstone.
Brilliant. Nice ones. Yeah, I see. It's all good. I'll tell you what, though. There's a food bank round from where we live. And I was trying to drop some leftover Christmas food, which I didn't cook. And they kept saying, oh, yeah, it's open, it's open, it's open. Every time I go there, it's shut. Like every time. So I was just like, where am I going to drop this stuff off? Eventually, I popped into Sainsbury's one day, and other supermarkets are available. And I managed to get one, just to leave it all in there. So I'm not sure who it went to, but they normally put the card out. But it's just it does make you laugh. You'd think sort of food banks would, again, be classed as an essential thing because it's technically a charity, isn't it? But it was the Epping Forest Food Bank, I think it was. And they just weren't open.
No, I've been hearing some rumours. I don't know about you. Oh, hold on. Have you got any more random acts of kindness?
I don't know. That is me.
That's me as well. That's random acts of kindness segment for the week, everyone. This has been Scott and Hutch, and this has been.
If you're feeling down,
what random acts of kindness?
Stop that frown. If you're
Just gotta play the
feeling
tune. Get us
time
out.
to put on your shoes. Don't feel so sad. Or kind of bad.
That is it. It's random acts of kindness. There we go. I can harmonise with myself. This is fun. All right,
I
all
do
right.
that with the voices in my head. It's brilliant. I'm joking. We don't really harmonise.
No, we don't. But I mean, we're doing fine so far. I'd say our broadcasting style is in harmony. So let's just keep it going. Right. What were you just saying just now?
I was talking about the voices in my head harmonising. But other than that, I'll tell you what we can talk about quickly because we have to. Obviously, it's still the coronavirus because it's kind of one of the big talking points at the moment. The Kent version of it,
yes,
slightly mutated.
Let me get this article up because we want to be accurate in our information.
That's fine. Well, I can start reading this bit. So we have the mutation of the Kent COVID that has been detected in some
called E484K.
I know it doesn't sound as catchy as Kent COVID, does it? Or COVID Kent. But they said that.
No, because you can just imagine that the reason this happened is because all the rich people living in Kent socialized.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, they go. I believe I've contracted the E484.
Oh, have you?
Oh, yes.
Because the thing is, I'm not just bashing everyone in Kent, but the variant has happened because people didn't abide by the rules.
Yeah,
that would be the main reason.
Yeah. So there's 11 samples found in some 200,000 that have been sequenced. They're saying as well that basically this is not to scare people, but take it as it's still serious.
Yes.
The Kent COVID has slightly mutated, as in it's changed shape, which now means that the vaccination might not recognize it. So your antibodies might not recognize it as the COVID, which is programmed. It's programmed to combat because the shape has changed slightly. Now, that doesn't necessarily mean, they're saying at the moment it means that the vaccine is less effective. Not it's completely useless, but it's less effective. But the good thing with this is, as we've spoken to Jason for the last few weeks on the show on our COVID clinic, the vaccination can be adjusted so that if there is any mutations or anything that can be done, they can literally take it back, reprogram it, and then start redistributing again.
Yeah.
So they've got the base
it's not
code
something
there.
we have to worry about.
Yeah. So which is pretty which is pretty good, to be honest with you. I'm just getting a little flash up on here just about the Oxford AstraZeneca vaccine. They're saying it may reduce COVID transmission by 67%, and a 3-month interval between jabs does not lower the protection, which is actually another bit good news. So,
Yeah.
But yeah, so basically they're just saying that the Kent mutation is slightly the Kent version, has slightly mutated. But also this other interesting thing is that we're now having to do door-to-door testing blitzes around the UK.
Yes, and you have to do it.
Yes,
it's not optional. You've got to.
Yeah. I mean, let's be honest with you. It's not that bad. They come to your door and just take a quick swab. How
And
hard is it?
they swab your mouth. In China, they now swab your bum.
I mean, no, there's a joke there, but I'm just not going to go for it.
No, we don't like poo-related jokes.
No, I was just going to say it's, you're getting the bum's rush, but never mind. But basically, the areas that have
okay,
yeah, every day's a crack. So the areas that have found this. Thank you very much. I got him. Everybody. See, first show back.
Oh, okay.
So
right, whatever.
So basically, the total of 105 cases, 11 of them have identified over the last 5 or 6 days do not appear to have links to the international travel. So 11 people have somehow contracted the South African coronavirus variant, even though they've not travelled or left the UK. Now, I was saying about this to the station manager just before we came on air. The only way I can think of that they've got this is it's either they've come into contact with someone who has transmitted it, or they've ordered something and it's arrived in the post, or they bought something in a supermarket or a shop that has come from South Africa and has somehow got into the production chain. That's the only way I can think about it. But the areas that have been affected, so you've got Ealing, which is W7, Haringey, which is N17, Mitcham, which is CR4, Warsaw, which is WS2, Broxbourne, which is in the east of England, that's EN10, Maidstone, ME15, Woking, GU21, so that'd be fun for McLaren, and Southport, which is PR9 in the northwest. So Health Secretary Matt Hancock has said it was imperative that people in these areas stay at home and take the test when it's offered to them, even if they have no symptoms. The most important thing is that people in the postcode areas outlined need to take special precautions and has urged them to think before they go outside. Because obviously this is another one that's more contagious. So, I mean, it begs the question, how did it get here?
Exactly.
How's it happen?
But that's the weird thing, is because we've been seeing, like, it just seems to spread.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe it's an own mutation of stuff that's been going on here, but they're just relating that to that virus. I don't know.
It's very odd. I mean, like I said, that's my theory, is that it somehow got into a manufacturing distribution or something like that. Someone's putting something up from a supermarket, fruit or veg, I don't know, an avocado or something. I don't know what's growing in South Africa. Picked it up, and it's from being picked to being packed, it somehow got coronavirus. That's the only way I could think of, is that it's someone's ordered something and it's gone around.
I mean, that's how it got back into New Zealand. They reckon it was on frozen foods and stuff.
Yeah,
because a lot of stuff is imported to New Zealand. So.
Yeah, same as with us, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. So, I mean, we've got to end the show here, but we're not ending the show. We're just going to a little break.
Yep.
So please do stay tuned while we do a little circuit breaker of coronavirus and the show for some ads. Please be right back. This is Scott and Hutch. Wait, hold on. Let's try that again. This is Scott and
Hutch.
And there we go. And we're going to be right back. Please do stay tuned.
Through Minhaj Welfare Foundation, your giving saves lives. Your support has provided more than 3 million people with access to clean and safe water, emergency relief in natural disaster and crisis-affected areas around the world, supported orphans and needy children with a better future. This year, your help can do more. Donate your zakat, sadaqah, and charitable donations to any of your chosen projects. Call us now, 0300 3030 777, or visit us on minhajwelfare.org.
As winter approaches, here's a critical reminder of coronavirus symptoms from Dr. Gupta.
The main symptoms of coronavirus are a high temperature or a new continuous cough, or a sudden loss or change in your sense of smell or taste. If you have any of these, to protect yourself and others, it is critical you isolate at home, even if you don't feel too bad. and you must book a test immediately. Use the NHS COVID-19 app or go to gov.uk/coronavirus.
Stay alert. Control the virus. Save lives.
Waiting to become a mum. It's a funny time. New things to think about, new feelings, and sometimes new worries. If at any point something just doesn't feel right, we've got a simple message. Just speak to your midwife. They're ready to see you safely. And if you've got a checkup booked in, rest assured, we've taken all the necessary steps to look after you and your baby. Just be sure to see us, your NHS maternity team. Help us, help you.
We're facing the biggest health challenge of our generation, and we've shown that together we're stronger than ever. But to keep making a difference, we need to support each other. If you're a man and you've had coronavirus recently, then you might just have the antibodies to help save lives in your blood plasma. That's why we urgently need men to donate. Giving blood plasma is safe and easy. Be the difference. Search Donate Plasma or call 0300 123 2323 today.
Could you look a bus driver in the eyes and tell them your journey is essential? Could you tell an intensive care nurse you always wear your face covering over your mouth and nose? Can you honestly say you're going out to exercise, not just to meet friends? Around 1 in 3 people who have COVID-19 have no symptoms and are spreading it without knowing. Are you absolutely positive you're not one of them? Stay home. Protect the NHS. Save lives.
কোভিড-19-এর এই নতুন রূপান্তরটা তাড়াতাড়ি ছড়িয়ে পড়ছে। যাদের কোভিড-19 হয় তাদের প্রতি 3 জনের মধ্যে 1 জনের মতো লোকের কোনো উপসর্গ থাকে না, কিন্তু তবুও তারা সংক্রামিত হতে পারে, যা লোকজনকে গুরুতর অসুখ হওয়ার ঝুঁকির মধ্যে ফেলে এবং আমাদের এনএইচএস এর উপর চাপ আবারও বাড়িয়ে দেয়। ভ্যাকসিনগুলি ভবিষ্যতের জন্য স্পষ্ট আশা দেয়, কিন্তু সংক্রমণের হার বেড়ে চলার কারণেই এখনই ব্যবস্থা নেওয়া দরকার। আবারও আমাদের সকলকে অবশ্যই বাড়িতে থাকতে হবে। যদি বাড়ির বাইরে বেরোনো অত্যাবশ্যক হয় তাহলে মনে রাখবেন, হাত ধোবেন, মুখ ঢেকে রাখবেন এবং দূরত্ব বজায় রাখবেন। বাড়িতে থাকবেন, এনএইচএস কে রক্ষা করবেন, প্রাণ বাঁচাবেন।
Minhaj School of Islamic Sciences provides quality Islamic education for children aged between 5 and 15 years old. As well as teaching classical Islam including Tajweed, Fiqh, Seerah and Aqidah, we endeavour to equip children with essential Islamic manners, morals and values. Here at MSIS, our experienced teachers create an inspirational learning environment where we strive to cater for the needs of every child. For enrolment inquiries, inquire in person at Minhaj School of Islamic Sciences, Monday to Friday, 5 to 7 p.m. at 292-296 Romford Road, or email admin.edu_London@minhajuk.org.
Revive FM
94.0 on the radio,
on your mobile,
and online.
Ya Rahim, Ya Kareem, Ya Sattar, Ya Ghaffar, Ya Rahim, Ya Kareem, Ya Sattar, Ya Ghaffar. In your oneness is my faith, in submission I
This is
Revive FM
94.0 with the latest news from around the world.
From the Sky News Centre at 6. The family of Captain Sir Tom Moore say the last year of his life was nothing short of remarkable. He's died in hospital at the age of 100, having recently tested positive for COVID-19. Sir Tom inspired the nation by raising over £32 million for the NHS last year by walking laps of his garden. In a message on social media, the Prime Minister says his legacy will live on.
In the dark days of the Second World War, he fought for freedom, and in the face of this country's deepest post-war crisis, he united us all. He cheered us all up, and he embodied the triumph of the human spirit.
New research supports the UK government's decision to extend the interval between 2 doses of the Oxford AstraZeneca coronavirus vaccine for up to 12 weeks. The study found the first jab is 76% effective for 3 months, and that then rises with the second one. It also reduces COVID-19 transmission by almost 70%. Some school pupils in Scotland could return to classes from the 22nd of February. Nicola Sturgeon's announced lockdown restrictions have been extended to at least the end of the month, though.
If we all do agree to abide with the lockdown restrictions for a bit longer so that our progress in suppressing the virus continues, then we can begin a phased, albeit gradual, return to school.
Experts say they are worried the coronavirus variant first picked up in Kent is changing. Cases have been found showing it has a mutation similar to the version first discovered in South Africa. That could mean vaccines are less effective against it. Russian opposition campaigner Alexei Navalny has been sentenced to 3.5 years in prison. A Moscow court decided the critic of President Putin violated probation terms. He was arrested after returning from Germany, having recovered from a nerve agent poisoning. And in sport, a big game between two Premier League relegation rivals is just starting between Sheffield United and West Brom. In the Scottish Premiership, Celtic go to Kilmarnock later. That's the latest. I'm Richard Newman.
This is Revive FM 94.0.
Reviving communities. The views expressed on this program do not necessarily represent those of Revive FM or its management.
Hello there. Welcome back to Revive FM 94.0. It's the second hour of Scott and Hutch, which is normally the time when the lawyers get a little bit nervous because I take control of the show. But it's okay, because keeping me on the straight and narrow is my friend, my co-host, Mr. Sweden 2003. He is.
What?
I don't know.
Mr. Sweden.
I want one of those like things. You know, it's like I want a fact that when it's said enough, it could almost be believed to be true.
Mr. Sweden.
I don't know.
Scott.
There you go. Henry Scott. Well, it was either going to be that or it was going to be the man who thought a kamikaze was a Japanese toilet.
Right.
I think
let's just go with it. If they say it on Top Gear, we can say it here too.
Exactly.
Who cares?
In the world. It's one of the most interesting facts in the world. Anyway, so welcome to the second hour of Drive Time. This is when it gets a little bit crazy. So we are, we've just been having a chat about sort of stocks and shares. We were talking about the GameStop interesting thing earlier on.
Let's talk about that. I've lost lots of money. Can I advise anyone to, unless you actually have trading knowledge?
Bear in mind, he is not a financial...
Oh yeah, this is not financial advice.
Yes,
this
we have
is
to say
not
that
financial
legally.
advice. I have to say that. Please don't take this as financial advice. But only get involved in the stock market if you're willing to read up and understand what's going on.
Yes.
Okay. And also only read up, only buy into these stocks and get involved with the whole Reddit things if you're willing to hold the loss. Because what's happening in the minute is I'm in these Reddit forums. A lot of people have got into this because they like to make a quick buck. And what they haven't understood is that when you buy into a stock, you have to be prepared to hold it, even if you're supposedly down by £500. And can I just say, even if you're down by £500, that's not a realized loss. That's not a loss until you actually sell it.
Yeah.
Until you don't own that share anymore, it's not a loss.
Yeah.
And I put it this way: I've been trading on the stock market since May of last year. I have had to, and bear in mind, this is when I just started out, so I just started learning how to do it all, right? And I was terrified. You know, let me go to my portfolio now. I'm happy to talk about all this.
I mean, it's a bit like with a bit like when you go to a casino and you have a gamble or a flutter or whatever, or, you bet on the football.
Yeah,
you only ever bet what you can afford to lose.
Exactly.
So you don't start chasing.
I was 12% down in November, right? I was £300 in the toilet. I was thinking, oh my god, I've got to sell. And then my mate told me, he's like, no, don't sell. It's just, listen, the stock market is going down through the toilet right now. You know, coronavirus, and then vaccine news came out and suddenly made £500.
Yeah. So that's it. So it's
just gotta be prepared to hold your nerve.
Yeah.
That's what I'm doing. So I bought a couple of GameStop shares, right? And the price today is down by 50%. I bought yesterday, by my ad.
But then, I mean, so it could obviously go back up again.
It
definitely
does change,
could, doesn't it?
Because there's something called the short squeeze, right? And I've been hearing about this. Again, not financial advice. There's something called the short squeeze. And the short squeeze is supposedly where, because these hedge funds have shorted the stock, at a certain price, they're contractually obligated to buy the stock, right? So what I've been hearing from everyone on the Reddit and the Discord forums and all this stuff, because I've been really tuning in, it's like, and I felt a lot better about my position today because I got on a Discord chat and some bloke was like, oh yeah, hey man. I'm like, oh, you're right. How's it going, buddy? Because nobody else was talking in this voice chat. And he was like, oh, I've had to close my position in GameStop. I was like, oh no, how come? He's like, well, I was 36k in the toilet because he'd bought leverage shares.
Oh, so hang on, what's the difference between those and
buying an actual stock, right? You've got stuff called options and stock.
Right.
An option is like a contract for difference share, i.e., hey, buddy, I bet you that this stock is going to go up, or I bet you that this stock is going to go down. Now that's called the down is called a short, right? And if you bet on a stock, and you can make a lot of money very, very quickly, but you can also lose money very, very quickly. If you go under an app like Trading 212 on their contract for difference thing, which is options, you've got to have a certain amount of money called leverage. So if you end up, this guy who was £36,000 down, and in order for him to retain his position on that, he had to have X amount of money to be able to give to the company that he'd bet it would go up. So it's like these hedge funds. They shorted the stock. They bet on it going down.
Yeah.
So when it went up, they were losing billions of dollars a day.
Oh, right. So they were basically betting against the market. They were betting on their competitors as opposed to actually betting on GameStop.
They were betting on GameStop to fail and the stock price to hit zero.
Right.
And if that had happened, like it was supposedly going to, then they would have made billions and billions of dollars. It's like Valiant. Valiant, do you remember that drug company? Martin Shkreli?
Rings a bell.
Martin Shkreli, the guy who pumped up AIDS medication to $566 a pill. Yeah. So that guy headed up Valiant company, and what Valiant did is they beefed up their stock price massively, and then people were like, hold on. So a couple of people were like, hey, that's bad. That shouldn't be happening.
Yeah.
What happened was obviously the stock price crashed because the company collapsed. It didn't have any money. It wasn't developing new drugs. All it was doing was inflating prices and lying. And
it's a bit like Stratton Oakmont, wasn't it? Like we were talking about Wolf of Wall Street in the break.
Or like The Big Short. That's how they made their money in The Big Short, because they bet that the housing market would collapse. What happened? The housing market collapsed. Those guys are all billionaires now.
Yeah. Effectively, it is gambling, isn't it? It's just a different way of doing it.
Thing is, you can't. What a lot of people have been talking about today is shorting a stock is like selling a house you don't own.
Yeah,
you're selling the stock. You don't own the stock. You're just selling the stock.
It's like the guy who tried to do an extension on my property, and he hadn't even bought it yet. Similar sort of principle, isn't it? So
exactly, he was trying to make alterations to something which he didn't own.
Yeah,
and this is the thing: when you get involved in the stock market like this, you got to be prepared to take that loss.
Yeah,
only invest what you can afford.
It's true, and what you can afford to lose,
lose, and you've got to accept the fact that you may lose all your money.
Yeah,
it's a total gamble. It's just with the difference is it's slightly more calculated.
Yeah, that's it. And
it's not like betting on Arsenal versus Man U.
Yeah, and it's a longer investment as well. That's the thing. You can't just put your money in and then 3 days later decide to take it out.
It's contract for different shares. These options, these call options that make people so much amount of money and lose people so much money.
Yeah,
you know, that guy who spoke to me, he said he lost $36,000.
Yeah,
$36,000.
Did he happen to say how much he put in at the start?
Well, yeah. He put 36,000.
Oh, he put 36.
He put 46,000 in, and because he got down to, he lost 36 because he's down to his 10k. He doesn't have enough leverage to continue.
Oh, right. I see what you mean. Yeah. Blimey,
I suppose the bigger conversation here is, why is this all happening? And I can tell you why if you like.
Go for it.
So basically, GameStop is like a sort of failing company. A lot of people have been betting on it to fail, as we just mentioned.
The US version of Game, basically, in the UK.
It's the largest video game retailer in the world.
Yeah.
But it struggled to remain relevant in the age of online sales, right? And, the high street's dying and all that jazz. But the Wall Street Bets is a group on Reddit, and it's a bunch of people known. Wall Street basically has had a big problem. There's a guy called Deep effing Value, right? That's his username.
Yeah.
And he said last year in about December, I'm going to buy GameStop because I love the stock. And those Wall Street guys have shorted it, and I want to make them pay for all the hurt they caused my family in 2008.
Yeah.
Because that's what happened in 2008. Wall Street basically lent money it didn't have, thusly crashed.
Yeah.
And there was no consequences for anyone who was involved in 2008, I might add.
Yeah, it was basically the world that suffered off the back of it. All that happened was the FCC, if I'm right, just looked at it and said, well, hang on, guys, you can't do that. Oh, that's really bad. That's really naughty.
And now they don't do it again. But it was sort of slap on the wrist. But these people cost their houses. They lost out on so many things. And I'm being on these Discord servers, I now truly understand where these people are coming from, because here in the UK, we weren't horribly affected by... We
were battered. We were hammered, weren't we? I mean,
and then we had austerity.
Yeah. That was fun.
But there were suddenly like millions of people in the US went homeless.
Yeah,
there wasn't that social security net.
And then it was that sort of knock on as well, with like things like Detroit, Michigan. Where the Detroit went bankrupt. I mean, it was basically RoboCop when the city went bankrupt, and because there was no manufacturing, so people didn't have the money to buy cars. And when Detroit, their principal export was making cars, for Ford, General Motors, Chrysler.
Yeah.
If no one's got any money to make them, well, why are you going to keep making them? So they went bust. So it does have a real knock-on effect when something like that happens,
Yeah. I mean, the thing is, all of these people who have bought into this stock, they were traders anyway, around 3 million people. Then it jumped to 6 million. 3 million people joined this server thinking, oh yeah, I can trade. I can do stock trading. And the thing is, then they weren't prepared to lose their money.
Yeah.
They weren't prepared to see it go into the red. And the issue is when you see it go into the red, when you sell, seeing it go into the red, then you lose.
Yeah.
That's when you lose.
Yeah. It's like I always say when I'm, if I have a bet on the football or anything like that, it's not my money until it's in my pocket or in my account. Like I can, they have those cash out options where like, if I cash out now, I can make £25 off of my £3 bet. Sorry, until it's in my pocket, it doesn't count. And that's the way I tell myself. If I lose a tenner, that's it.
I've made so it's like when I mean, this is a lesson I've learned is that I was back in. Let me look at the date specifically. The 28th of November, I was up 16%.
Yeah,
on my whole portfolio, but I didn't sell. Did I make that money? No.
Yeah,
I didn't. I only ended up making. £100 from that option because I didn't sell it at that point.
Yeah.
So therefore, you don't make the money.
That's it. It's basically just on paper. Well, I've made 16%, but again, until it's in your pocket,
it's not, and it wasn't in my pocket, and it doesn't count. And I suppose what people need to know is before if this is giving you an idea to go into it, please take a long, hard look at your finances and whether you can afford to. Lots of people are saying buy the dip. Buy, hold the line, blah, 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 blah. It's important to note that this stock may go to zero. And that's a position, that's a gamble I've taken. And I'm annoyed at myself slightly because I have to look at it and go, yesterday I was looking at it and go, I'm not going to invest in that. It seems like a dumb idea. Like I don't normally do I don't normally bet. I do the calculated bets, like I research a company heavily and then I invest in it. GameStop is a dying breed.
Yeah.
It's not a company you should be investing in if you think it's got potential, because in my opinion, it doesn't. And this is not financial advice.
It's a last hurrah for for GameStop. Everyone's trying to just get what they can out of it.
Yeah, and it's a big middle finger to Wall Street, which I think is fine, and it's all well and good. Like people like Melvin Capital and hedge funds like Citadel, Lancia, they have lost $11.8 billion collectively on their options, and it's only going to get worse. But at a certain point, they will make money again, and it'll be a blip in the radar.
Yeah, it's true. That's what it is. I mean, I know someone who actually has his own investment firm, and from what I heard over Christmas, I mean, he was one stage away from having a breakdown. I think he actually did have a breakdown because it just got that bad for him. And but I suppose that's the kind of world that you live in if you're going to try and play that game effectively. It's you've got it. There's not really other way I can say it. You just have to be careful. But as we keep saying,
you're spot on. You've got to be careful when you're investing. You've got to think, do I have the money to do this? You've got to do it very calculated, and you've got to research who you're going to invest in. You've got to look at what analysts are saying. You've got to look at what the other forecasters are saying. You've got to look at what other traders are doing. Expand your network. You've got to talk to people. Get in lots of online forums to talk about trading. It's a very risky thing to do. And especially there's people who have, what some people have done is taken their mortgages and put it on this stock.
Yeah, which you definitely don't want to do.
Yeah, and that's like a rule 101. Never, ever trade with money you don't have.
Yeah, that's it. I mean, I was looking at everyone knows the whole saga of me trying to sell my house. Well, I'm looking to maybe do a little something in property, and then I'm thinking when I'm older, I've then got the money I've made off of the rent of whichever property I used to like a buy to let or anything like that. And then when I sell it at, when I hit 60, 70 or whatever, I've then got the money that I've made from that property over 30 years plus the value of the value of the property anyway. I can always fall back on this chair. So that's what I'm looking at doing, and I just think to myself, I couldn't justify just putting all that money in and things like that. I mean, I was even looking at some of the properties of like I'm starting off safe and really boring by actually buying a brand new build which can have warranties and all that sort of stuff out in Colchester, and it's got a nice little return there. I'm thinking maybe for my next one, because I want to turn it into a business of actually maybe doing another one up north and putting some people in there and getting someone to run that for me and things like that. But I was also looking at the option of, do I do it all as a company, and then that way it protects my house and my personal assets, or do I then do it as a do I do it just as a personal thing, and then I run the risk of, if something happens and I haven't got the money and they foreclose on the house, I then lose where I live and I lose all my money. So that's some of the other things I've been sort of eyeing up and deciding what to do. But I think at the moment, until I've got a couple under my belt, it's worth just keeping
it this way,
individual.
Mate. Any money you can put into something which isn't physical cash at the minute is actually a very good idea.
Yeah.
Because the government has done such massive amounts of quantitative easing, we could see inflation shoot through the roof.
Yeah. So that'd be the thing. Yeah. Then I suppose if it does, then obviously your value is going to be, your assets are going to be worth a lot more. Yeah.
No, worthless.
Oh, worthless. Oh, sorry.
Yeah, because inflation means that the same amount of money that you had. If you have £100 and there's inflation and it's not in the bank, it's in your hand, then that money becomes worth nothing.
Oh, right. So what? Because
even if it's in the bank and interest rates aren't also 20%, then that's worth nothing.
So
it'll be worth £80.
Yeah. I suppose because there'll be more of it because of the quantitative easing, I suppose. Where
we've got to seriously. The government has done so much borrowing of money, and do you know what's quite weird is that the Bank of England has borrowed in line with what the government has borrowed. Now, supposedly, these two institutions are independent.
Yeah.
So it's a lot of big investors, people who deal in billions of pounds of government bonds and lend the government huge amounts of money, are very very suspicious that the Bank of England has borrowed, has done the same amount of quantitative easing as the government has borrowed to keep interest rates down.
Wow.
Yeah, I know. And the thing is, the whole point, if I got like a £5 note in here and put it on the camera, that'd be dramatic. Yeah. Where does it say it? Says it on the back.
I
promise to pay the bearer on the demand of the sum of £5. It's trust, promise.
Yeah.
And if it's quite interesting that my economics teacher was talking to me about this. He says trust is the key issue here, and if the investors and everyone else doesn't trust the UK, not good.
We are in trouble. So, I mean, I think that is the thing, that we are going to be heading into an era of uncertainty. I know that they're already talking about, house prices are going to start to drop. They've already started to drop, I think, by about 0.3% this month compared to December, but they were up by 6% in December. So again, it goes back to what we were saying about with the whole, sort of stocks and shares thing. The markets will always fluctuate. They'll always change.
Yeah.
But I suppose it's just a case of, it's any sort of long-term investment or anything like that, you just got to hold your nerve and go at the right time. Sometimes it can just be down to like you said, doing your research. Half the time it can just be coming down to luck, really, can't it? So that's the thing. But anyway, on that bombshell, what we're going to be doing, we're going to be playing our luck and playing some adverts. So and trust me, they are good investments. See you after the break.
With the new variant of COVID-19, the most important thing for us to do to help save lives and to protect the NHS is to stay at home. This means no mixing with anyone outside your immediate household, only going out for essential shopping, education, medical reasons, or daily exercise. The NHS is still here to help you, so please do keep your NHS appointments or call 111 if you need medical treatment. During these trying times, we need to take care of our physical and mental health. Keep a routine, eat healthy, exercise daily, and stay connected with family and friends. For more information, visit gov.uk.
Thinking about selling or letting your home? With Maxwell Estates, you don't need to look any further. Well established with over 15 years of experience, Maxwell Estates are specialists in residential sales and lettings. We manage over 200 properties in and around Northwest London, keeping our landlords and tenants updated with all the latest laws and legislations. Based in Edgware, our experienced specialist negotiators always ensure we maximize the full potential of your property. Call us now on 0208 952 0808 for a free no obligation quotation, or visit our website www.maxwellestates.co.uk for further information. Maxwell Estates, the name you can trust.
The new variant of COVID-19 is spreading fast. Around 1 in 3 people with COVID-19 don't have any symptoms but can still pass it on, putting people at risk of serious disease and renewing pressure on our NHS. Vaccines give clear hope for the future, but the rising infection rate requires action now. Once more, we must all stay home. If it's essential to go out, remember, wash your hands, cover your face, and make space. Stay home. Protect the NHS. Save lives.
This is Aisha. Her father died in an accident at a very young age. She lives with her mother and siblings. There are millions like Aisha who do not have access to the very basics of life, resulting in her and many others not being able to attend school. Through Minhaj Welfare Foundation, your charity is dedicated towards supporting the full needs of orphans and needy children around the world. Donate today. Call us now, 0300 30 30 777. Or visit us on minhajwelfare.org.
Kebabish Original, one of the biggest names in the restaurant trade. Visit your local KO to experience the thrill of the grill and the most authentic Pakistani cuisine. From our kebabs to our curries, and from our mixed platters to our peri-peri, our chefs prepare your food in front of you while you wait. KO is now offering franchise opportunities. To take advantage of our proven and successful business model, contact us on 0208 446 7779 or visit kebabishoriginal.co.uk.
Could you look a shop assistant in the eyes and tell them your trip is essential? Can you honestly tell the cashier you keep a safe distance from other shoppers? Hand on heart, do you always wear your face covering over your mouth and nose? The more often you leave home, the more likely you are to come into contact with COVID-19. Try to shop less often, and if possible on your own. Stay home. Protect the NHS. Save lives.
COVID-19 remains highly contagious, and even people without symptoms can spread it. So we need to keep washing our hands when we get home. Keep wearing our face coverings on the train. Keep making space at the shops. And now we're indoors more, we should let fresh air in to help blow COVID-19 particles away. Let's keep doing all we can to protect each other and help stop the spread. Remember, hands, face, space, and let fresh air in.
Revive FM
94.0. On the radio.
on your mobile.
And online.
Hello there. Welcome back to Revive FM 94.0. My name is Tom Hutchinson, and joining me for the first time this year in the studio is my amazing co-host,
Henry Scott.
That's it right there. So,
get to do my own cool voice.
I know. It's
intro.
It's I like the cool voices. I think we should it's like our TJ voices.
Score.
It's our TJ voices. Hello, welcome to Revive FM.
The X Factor. You know that jazz.
The X Factor.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Peter Dixon. It's that one, isn't it?
Yeah.
I can't do it in the microphone because it'll deafen people. Right, we're just quickly going to do one more little bit of COVID, and then we're going to try and move on. I mean, it is a little bit tricky.
I mean, it's a little bit difficult because there's nothing else going on.
I know, that's it. I mean, it's funny, we've not really spoken about Joe Biden that much, but let's be honest.
There's nothing to say. He's doing a good job.
It's been a week. He's not declared war on anyone yet. I mean, give it time. But I did like the little comment he gave. Was it like during his first press conference? And I can't remember who he said it to. Was it Putin or something like that? Someone said, have you spoken to President Putin or something like that? And he went, yes. He says hello and asked for you personally, like to the guy. I mean, bear in mind, this was a guy who a while ago everyone was sort of questioning his mental health.
No, he's fine. He's just had a blip. He's under a lot of stress.
That's it.
Strain. There's nothing wrong.
Well, look at Tony Bennett. I mean, he's been diagnosed. He's confirmed he's got Alzheimer's at 96, but he's still working, still performing. Yeah. And apparently, and his doctor has actually advised him to keep singing as long as he can, because it's actually making the brain work and function. And he says, the doctor was saying, there are days when he's not that lucid. There are days when he's very lucid. But
it's like Billy Connolly with his Parkinson's.
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, he's starting to admit now that he's not starting to lose, but he's finding it difficult. So he's not doing stand-up anymore because he says that he's not, his brain is not firing all cylinders to do that level of comedy anymore. So he says he does his, he says he's doing his travel shows. I think he's doing one coming up on ITV soon. which is going to be kind of like his last hurrah, you know, like he's talking about his stand-up shows, obviously growing up in Scotland and in Glasgow and things like that. So, I mean, that would be another shame, I think, when, you know, God forbid when Billy Connolly goes, because, I mean, he's just, again, he's been around for yonks,
Yeah,
isn't he?
he's a legend.
I know. It's you know, the fact the man goes, have you ever noticed? And it starts off as
so good.
It's just a story, you know. But he's just a great raconteur. That's I mean, I always remember years ago, and you know, to lower the tone, but let's be honest, it's what I do on this show. When it was on Children in Need, and you know, where they always go, you know, this is child X. They have to walk 50 miles a day to get, you know, dirty water to live on, all this sort of stuff. And then you've got Billy Connolly, and I'm 10 years old at this point, who's out in Rwanda, and he's talking to the camera, and he's basically talking about the terrible conditions that they're suffering from, and about the crew who have been doing stuff through the eye of a needle. Well, straight away, I'm howling with laughter. This is a man who's asking for money, and where all the others are going, oh, it's really tough. I can't see that child. He's talking about the crew having the Eartha kits. That's rhyming slang, by the way. I'm not saying the real word. And I just think that's what you wanted. And there was the other thing as well, that if he raised, I mean, the two things I'll never forget, Bono saying, if we raise £1 million in the next hour, I will take off my glasses, because he never takes off his glasses, does Bono from U2, because he's got glaucoma. So he has to protect his eyes. And Billy Connolly was, if we raise, I think it was £5 million in however many hours, I'm going to do a naked dance through London's West End. And he did it. There's the image is burned in my head of a naked Billy Connolly running around the fountain at Piccadilly Circus. I mean, there is a reason they call him the Big Yin. You know what I'm saying, you know, but it was so God bless Billy Connolly. That's all I can say.
Yeah.
Anyway, so changing the subject now, that's an image that's going to be burned into your mind. So the figures for
I'm
the last.
looking this up right now.
You're looking at Billy Connolly's.
Yeah,
mate, whatever you just clear your internet history, mate. That's what I'm saying. So we've got the latest numbers for the last 24 hours. So we've had where are we now? Here we go. UK death toll has risen by 1,449, but 16,847 cases have been confirmed. Now, to put that in comparison, we had 18,607 yesterday. And last Tuesday, 20,089. So we're down by just over 3,000, which is about 3,200, which is good. So I think the vaccine's starting to make a difference now, and the lockdown as well.
Yeah, I think especially in rates of hospitalization, in the last 7 days, we've had 20,923 hospitalized patients admitted to hospital. That is 5,000 less than last week. That's a 20% reduction.
Yeah.
We've had 162,877 cases in the last 7 days. That's a 26% reduction of last week, down by 60,000.
So I think maybe this lockdown is starting to work. Maybe also the cold weather as well, where it's been snowing and things like that have kind of stopped people from going out and mixing and things like that. I mean, I was just looking at one of the things I was actually going to talk about, and I suppose we could go into it now. Obviously, with the snowfall and things like that have happened, so Yorkshire has been absolutely battered. I mean, it looks like a scene out of It's a Wonderful Life out there. I mean, there's a little report I've got here which is saying that there's hundreds of schools have closed and travel has been disrupted by heavy snowfall in most of Yorkshire. So in Bradford, 200 schools were shut to all pupils, which is funny, really, because I thought schools were still shut. So how does that work? So over 100 closed in Leeds and Kirklees, 50 in Wakefield and North Yorkshire, and 40 in South Yorkshire. But the coronavirus vaccine sessions at large centres in Harrogate, Ripon and Huddersfield were also effective. So the Met Office issued an amber weather warning saying up to 6 inches of snow could fall on high ground. People were warned against travelling by road, and firms such as rail operator Northern have advised of widespread disruption to their networks, and forecasters have warned motorists to be on that are at risk, you know, because they could become stranded. I mean, there's this. I don't know if did you see the video in Huddersfield? Is that there's the street on the hill? Have you seen this?
The car going, there's an absolute moron driving like 40 miles an hour in the middle of snow. And he just spins out.
And he tried to, there's one car.
He tried to overtake.
Yeah, tried to overtake. It was someone in a BMW. Now, I mean, I've got a front wheel drive Mini Cooper, and even I struggle on snow. But this guy had I think it was a BMW 3 Series or 5 Series. He overtook someone on the wrong side of the road, and he went to brake, and he hit a smart car. He hit the car that he was trying to overtake, and
absolute moron.
Exactly, and
silly sausage.
Spun down. Now, I mean, what in your right mind thinks that you can do that? I mean, they say, when you go to drive, that the stopping distance in when it's raining is twice the distance. On snow, is it 4 or 10 times this? I mean, it's changed since I've done my testing like that. But in your right mind,
10 times the distance to stop.
Yeah. So what in your right mind thinks, oh, I'm going to overtake someone, on snow, on a downhill road, it's a very steep hill, and I mean the damage. I mean, I'd love to be his insurance company, because they give you that little form and there'll be a little white box there. So what happened on the accident? It's going to take more than that white box to fill it out. I'm telling you. So. But they've also advised as well, just getting back to my point with the North, that they're advising if you can keep your appointment, then do it. But if you can't make your appointment, then another one will be issued for you as well. But they've also issued weather warnings out in the States as well. So I think it's New York and New Jersey, they are getting it just as bad at the moment, because it's all coming off the Atlantic. So they're calling it a nor'eastern is what they call it out in America. So there's like flash sort of snowstorms. There's ice buildup and things like that. So there's a high alert. I think it's like a danger to life warning or something like that. So where we've got like the amber warning for the North, I think they're on sort of like a really high alert out in the States. So again, they're just advising everyone to stay at home and things like that. But I tell you what I do find quite interesting, and I think Chicago, if I'm right, does this. Obviously, massive travel disruption with the trains and things like that. But on the Chicago subway metro system, they actually have, and something I think maybe we should implement, in London, as we talk about the tube earlier, and even maybe up north in Scotland, they pipe gas. Have you seen this? They pipe gas through the railway lines.
What do you mean? What kind of gas?
Just like natural gas. So the idea is that when it gets cold, they turn it on, and it heats the rails. So they can then melt any snow and ice things out on there, so the trains then aren't affected.
But you're saying they pump natural gas?
There is, basically
into tube tunnels.
No, not into the tube tunnels. No, it's on the open bits of the railway. So like in like Batman Begins.
Never watched it.
Or Dark Knight.
Nope.
All right. Anything? All right. Well, basically, that's filmed in Chicago. Right,
yeah,
so those bits filmed in Chicago,
so they've got natural gas.
They put gas on the outside bits of the metro subway thing. So, like, where we live, we've got the tube, which is not, we have bits of the tube that are still open air. So what they do is they have these little, and you'll see it sometimes. There's little bits of flame licking out where they light it. But the idea is that it melts the ice and the snow on the tracks that are outside, so it doesn't actually disrupt service. It's effectively it heats the rails up. So it's a really ingenious system, and I think it may be something that we could look at implementing over. I mean, quite nice. But have you found it?
Yeah. Why Chicago's commuter train tracks appear to be on fire?
That's it. Yeah, that's it. There. So they pump gas through it. It effectively just heats it. It's like a flamethrower underneath the rails. But I just think that's something.
That looks shocking.
It's good, isn't it? Though, yeah,
that's brilliant.
It's pretty freaky, isn't it?
Why don't we do that?
Because it would make sense. But that's what I mean.
Yeah,
I think
that happens a lot in this country, doesn't it?
I know.
Why aren't they doing it? Because that would be the right thing to do.
Yeah, it makes sense. Or here's the other thing. I believe we could pump gas, but unfortunately, it would cost too much. There you go. I mean, we got HS.
It would save us money.
I know we've got, and also it would improve productivity because all right, we're working from home at the minute, but
Well, to be honest, after this, there's not going to be any snow days, is there?
Well, I don't know.
The snow day is at an end.
I don't know. I thought I heard that it's going to be 10 days worth of snow, depending on where you get your news from. But I think it was on the BBC or Sky News, and they were saying there's like 10 days worth of snow and
not coming down
floods.
to London though.
Yeah, see,
but
one of the other things you're getting up north.
If you just pop off to Loughton and Woodford, right, or Epping. I think a lot of people in Newham would be familiar with the area of Epping. There's a river which has burst its banks. Everywhere's flooded.
I think I've seen this. Yes, I think I've seen this.
You know the road going down to Buckhurst Hill?
Yes, I walked that today.
Flooded.
Yeah, it's been like. Do you know that's been like
go canoeing in there.
Yeah, I went. Do you know why? Because this is part
you
of my
got
day.
canoe. I'd really like to.
I'm I'm trying to think of a joke, but I can't. The thing is, and people are going to say, yes, this is my daily exercise. I go out, I go and get a coffee because I can't stay in all day because I go absolutely insane. Like literally, I can't do anything in my house stuff. So I go out, I put a podcast on, and I'll go and walk. I did it today, and I did an hour and a quarter. So because as far as I'm aware, we don't have the hours exercise limit that we did beforehand. I actually went past the police car today and didn't say anything. So
well, they're not going to, are they?
Yeah, it's too much paperwork, isn't it?
Exactly.
Plus, I'm Caucasian, so I suppose that's another thing that they won't question me on that. And that's not me being racist. That's just me being honest. If you're Caucasian, you get away with a lot more. Let's be brutal.
Well, that's white privilege.
Exactly.
That's why it needs to be recognised.
Exactly.
And that's why you have to. Well, you don't have to. It's a free country. It's why you should support Black Lives Matter.
Exactly. Yeah, it's true. Like I say, it's. I mean, did you see? Tell you what, did you see that the video that's going around on Twitter? Someone on was it Fox or CNN? And they said, I can't remember who it was. It's someone on one of those news networks, and they said, "I'll talk about what was it? I can't remember the exact words, but it was something along the lines of, "Do you want to hear something funny? Black Lives Matter." And then they go, "That's not it."
Disgusting.
Yeah,
that is disgusting.
That was a joke. That was like
it's not a joke, is it? It's just a racial slur.
Yeah, they were trying to say,
that
it was like, "Do you want to hear something?"
disgusting.
Yeah, do you want to hear something funny? And then that was it. And I thought that's not even funny. And then they
Where was that on Fox?
I can't remember. I'll try. I'll find it in the break.
Everyone,
I'll try and find it.
do you know what I find ridiculous? Right? Everyone's like, "Oh, free speech, free speech." But then if free speech gets us that, I don't want free speech.
Well, that's the thing. You have to think of how these people get these jobs in American media.
Yeah,
because your voice can influence people.
Well, it's like we have a social responsibility on this show.
Yeah,
we're regulated by Ofcom and everyone.
Exactly.
We don't get to say whatever we want because that's not how the world works.
Yeah.
And it's important that we remain unbiased and impartial, and we do our due diligence. We have the vaccine ads playing on. We do the vaccine readouts. You know.
I can't believe that was said. I'm not going to play it, but I'll try and find out who said it in the break. We're going to have to go in a minute. But anyway, getting back to the thing, back to what we were saying about with the canal that's supposed to spank, or the river that's supposed to spank. I've been doing that walk probably about 5 times in the last week, just because there's not really anywhere to go. Obviously, it's locked down, but I need to get exercise, and I want to try and do something. As he goes into a well-known coffee shop and gets a tuna melt sandwich and a mocha every day.
Yeah.
But then I wonder why I've got no money. It's buying shares in that place. Actually, that might be an ideal. I'll have a look for getting shares in there.
Not financial advice.
Yeah, exactly.
I've not given any financial
advice.
He
has not given me any financial advice. I'm just being brutally honest with you. I spend so much, I'm probably driving the shares up. But I looked at it the other day, and it's burst its banks. I even remember the little lake in Roding Valley Nature Park. I think that had actually closed off one of the little walkways there, and I went for a run on Christmas Eve. So that's now a month, and it's still like that. And that river's exactly, I know, and that river's now getting worse. It's like you say, you could canoe down it. I mean, I'm expecting just to sort of see like someone coming down on a powerboat, or there'd be the Oxford and Cambridge rowers going, "Come on, lads, stroke."
Wait, what? Hold on, stop. Where are we?
Oh, we've gone too far.
We've gone too far south.
Says here we've gone to Loughton. Oh, I don't know where that is. Is that where I don't think the proletariat. I think the proletariat to go around
upstream
there.
We go.
Yeah, come on, everybody. Stroke. Anyway, right. We have got one more part of the show. I'm going to stroke this button ever so lovingly.
Oh, that is just... No, I'm out.
And speaking of out, I'm going to press this button and go out to the ads. See you after the break.
This is Aisha. Her father died in an accident at a very young age. She lives with her mother and siblings. There are millions like Aisha who do not have access to the very basics of life, resulting in her and many others not being able to attend school. Through Minhaj Welfare Foundation, your charity is dedicated towards supporting the full needs of orphans and needy children around the world. Donate today. Call us now, 0300 3030 777, or visit us on minhajwelfare.org.
Amigos, the signature name when it comes to burgers and shakes. Our succulent burgers are prepared in front of you while you wait. Whether you go for our 6-ounce Mexican or our 10-ounce Texan, or you decide to go for our messy fries or our buffalo wings, one thing you're guaranteed is quality. Dine in with your friends and family at 400 Cranbrook Road, Gants Hill, or order in on Uber Eats, Just Eat, or Deliveroo. Amigos, hats off to great burgers.
Thinking about selling or letting your home? With Maxwell Estates, you don't need to look any further. Well established with over 15 years of experience, Maxwell Estates are specialists in residential sales and lettings. We manage over 200 properties in and around Northwest London, keeping our landlords and tenants updated with all the latest laws and legislations. Based in Edgware, our experienced specialist negotiators always ensure we maximize the full potential of your property. Call us now on 0208 952 0808 for a free no obligation quotation, or visit our website www.maxwellestates.co.uk for further information. Maxwell Estates, the name you can trust.
If you want to advertise your business on Revive FM, then visit www.revivefm.co.uk. Alternatively, contact our sales team now on 07944 56 5616. That's 07944 56 5616.
Could you look a bus driver in the eyes and tell them your journey is essential? That the thing you think you need to go into the office for couldn't be done from home? Do you always keep a safe distance and wear your face covering over your mouth and nose? The more often you go out, the more likely you are to come into contact with COVID-19. Are you sure you need to travel today? Stay home. Protect the NHS. Save lives.
The new variant of COVID-19 is spreading fast. Around 1 in 3 people with COVID-19 don't have any symptoms but can still pass it on, putting people at risk of serious disease and renewing pressure on our NHS. Vaccines give clear hope for the future, but the rising infection rate requires action now. Once more, we must all stay home. If it's essential to go out, remember, wash your hands, cover your face, and make space. Stay home. Protect the NHS. Save lives.
With over 40 years experience in the industry, Plachette Carpets is the place to go for all your carpets, laminates, linos and wood flooring. We have an established network of suppliers, which means we can offer some of the best prices in town. We offer free estimates, free measurements and now even free fitting. Call us now on 0208 472 8568 or visit us at 157 Plachette Road, Upton Park, London, E13 0QZ.
Revive FM
94.0. On the radio.
on your mobile.
And online.
Hello there, welcome back to Revive FM. It is the last part of Scott and Hutch. My name is Tom Hutchinson, and joining me for the first time this year in the studio is my amazing co-host
Henry Scott.
Yep, that's it. So it's, you know what? I know we say
It's the last segment of the
it's the last segment of the show, but it's nice to be back in the studio with it.
It's nice to see you, even though you're 2 meters away.
I know. The thing is, and we say this every time we do it, when one of us is at home and one of us is here, operating the machinery that makes this thing happen.
Yeah.
It's not the same. You get a nice little spark, and also it's instant feedback. We don't have that delay. That's the thing.
No, and you know what? I don't feel as tired. I feel very fatigued when we do it online.
Yeah.
I think that, but you know what? That's voiced with everyone. I think everyone being online all the time. It's very, very fatiguing.
Yeah. It is. I mean, I told you about the whole thing today, didn't I? So I actually had an interview that was going to be online, and I think it was 11:15. I G'd myself up for it, and I thought, you know what, let's go for this. I want to do it, and I was sort of going around all morning, going, oh, maybe I should just leave it. Oh, it's only as a temporary job. It's only this, that, and the other, and I thought, right, I'm going to go for this now. I'm going to go for it, and I hyped myself up, psyched myself up. 2 minutes got on. I was like, I haven't got a drink. Ran off, go and got a glass of blackcurrant and stuff like that, just so I don't get nervous and tongue tied and all that sort of stuff. Sat down, and then I'm waiting. And I'm waiting. And the meeting was supposed to be from 11:50 till 12:10. 2 minutes. So 8 minutes past 12, I get the message saying, sorry, you've not submitted the right documentation. We can't go ahead with it. Oh, so you've just let me wait there for 20 minutes for nothing. And I felt so, right.
Oh, no,
I can't even be bothered to do anything. I know it was absolutely ridiculous. But so I've rebooked it for Friday, but now I'll be honest with you, I'm probably can't really be asked, but it's, do you know what? It's better than being on furlough, and it gets me out and it gets me doing something whilst I'm waiting for this house stuff to happen as well. So hopefully, it's gonna happen. But I'll tell you what, we've got a little bit of a story that we can go to. A little bit of a funny one.
A good story.
A little bit of a funny one. So
are we sitting comfortably?
I know.
Then let's begin.
Yeah, then we'll begin. So once upon a time, there was a psychopathic despot called Donald Trump. Sorry.
All right, go for it.
And he was not a very nice person. Although the people who make fake tan really liked him because he made their profits humongous.
Have you ever considered a career doing children's storybooks?
Technically, me and Elise did that in lockdown.
No. Have you ever started a little YouTube channel just reading kids their bedtime stories?
Already done it, mate. We're not bedtime stories, but we did. No, me and Elise, who I think is listening. Hello, Elise, if you're watching or listening to us. We actually.
You could do Biff and Chip.
What's Biff and Chip?
What? You don't know what Biff and Chip is?
I'll tell you now. If it's after 1995, probably not.
No, it's after 1995. It's
So
like 2004 when I was like 3. They give us these books to read in primary school called like Biff and Chip. Biff and Chip and the Magic Key.
Nah.
Nothing?
No, never heard of Biff and Chip.
Let me look this up.
Anybody who wants to comment, you can comment on Facebook or YouTube Live, Revive FM UK.
The Magic Key.
Biff and Chip. I mean,
yeah, the Magic Key, man.
What is Biff and Chip?
This is the best storybooks.
What the heck is that?
That's Biff and Chip and the Magic Key.
Right. That just looks like they're just holding a torch.
Well, no, because it glowed and it took them on these cool adventures, and they'd go like back in time and.
See, we had Bill and Ted back in my day.
Bill and Ted.
Yeah.
What is this magic?
Bill and Ted, you had to be awesome to each other and party on, dudes.
What's it called?
Bill and Ted.
Is there like an extra reference I can is it called Face the Music or something?
Well, Bill and Ted Face the Music is the new movie, but it was an old movie where it was Keanu Reeves, and they were basically charged with creating a song that was going to unite the world. That's what it was. And it was the whole thing, excellent. That's it.
This looks like a really B-Tech Diary of a Wimpy Kid.
It's no. It was good. But put it this way. We even had things like you had the time traveling phone booth, and I'm not going to say it's Doctor Who, but it was.
That's a bit of a knockoff, though, isn't it?
Nah, but it was.
But it is.
But it's good. It was up there. It was with that whole sort of Wayne's World era, and that's the very young Keanu Reeves before he went into the Matrix and knew jujitsu and all that stuff.
What era did you grow up in?
In the best era, the 80s.
No.
The best era,
early 2000s. Brilliant era to grow up in. Yes, it was.
I'll tell you now, children's cartoons in the 80s and the 90s.
Children's cartoons in the 2000s were brilliant.
Oh, I'm sorry.
And no. Nowadays they're terrible. Right. I vibe with you. In the 80s and 90s they were excellent because I watched them.
Right.
But children's cartoons nowadays, like, have you seen the remade Bob the Builder? He looks like a serial killer.
In fairness, I thought the first one looked like a serial killer.
No, new Bob the Builder.
What was that one? It was the cement mixer. I'm Dixie. Yeah, you are. Lovely. Like you've been sort of on something all night.
Look at that.
That
looks like a ghost of Slender Man.
That looks like the remade Fireman Sam.
Look at that.
Wait a minute.
Looks terrifying.
Google the new Fireman Sam. That looks a carbon copy of the new Fireman Sam.
Let's have a look.
They've literally all they've done is they replace a fireman's helmet with a hard hat. But anyway, whilst he's doing that, I'm just going to get onto a little funny story that happened with Donald Trump, and then we're going to play a song which I think is going to be quite nice. I think it does. Do you think?
Look, so here's our new fresh Bob.
There's our fresh Bob,
and there's our fresh.
I'm telling you now, I think they look remarkable. I think that's.
Sorry, he looks like he's about to burn down a whole house.
Oh, hello, my name's Fireman Sam, isn't it? Oh, I work in Pontypandy.
Doesn't he look terrifying?
I used to like the old one when it was stop motion, and they didn't. It was funny because they didn't speak, but their mouths didn't move, but they still spoke. And then you had.
But there's like Pingu.
Oh, that was fun. It was funny.
Pingu's brilliant.
That was good. I always remember. I used to go to school, and I used to say I could speak Pingu because I could do the impression of the dad. So I used to go.
I come to the footy.
Yeah, I used to go. I cut the fantasy. That was my thing. So, but anyway,
moving away from nostalgia.
Moving away, but speaking of impressions. So, a prankster pretending to be Piers Morgan, speaking of nutters, managed to fool Donald Trump into thinking he was speaking to the real TV presenter. It happened in October while the former president and Apprentice star was on Air Force One, Piers Morgan said. So Mr. Trump, who left the White House finally for the final time last week, only realized that he had been scammed when he rang the genuine Morgan the following day on his way to Florida. Piers told the BBC that it was a hilarious story, and he's saying, quote, somebody had called him pretending to be me the day before and got through to him on Air Force One, and they had a conversation with Trump thinking he was talking to me.
Well, how did Piers Morgan find out about this?
Because Trump rung him the next day.
It was like, that was a weird conversation.
It was like, so about that conversation we had, that before anyone says, no, it was not me. I don't have Donald Trump's number, and I would never have it. If I did have it, I'd give it out to everybody just so we could abuse him.
No, don't do that.
Oh, come on.
That's
He's the only
bashing. That's not fair.
That's the only elderly person I would insult is Donald Trump. He's the only OAP I would insult.
No. I'd prefer you called him up and did impressions of Boris. That would be funny.
So what? They go, hello, is this Bojo? Is Bojo? Yes, it is. Can I just say that you are an orange oik, and I've never really liked you, and if I was American, I would be voting for Biden. Just do that, then just put the phone down. I think we've gone slightly mad, but I'll tell you what we're going to do.
Piers Morgan story.
Well, that was pretty much it. So just the fact that he said that they don't actually know who the prankster was, but it's just really funny that someone's actually managed to get hold of Trump on Air Force One and do that. But anyway, what we're going to do now, we're going to finish up because we've only got a few minutes left. So we're going to play a song, and I'm going to dedicate this to Captain Tom. Because I think it's good, and also just all of our NHS heroes, and also it's mine and my mate Elise's favourite karaoke song. This is Chad Kroger and Josie Scott, and this is Hero.
I am so high, I can hear heaven. I'm so high, I can hear heaven. Oh, but heaven, no heaven, don't hear me. And they say that a hero can save us. I'm not gonna stand here and wait. I'll hold on to the wings of the eagles. Watch as we all fly away. Someone told me love will all save us. But how can that be? Look what love gave us. A world full of killing and blood spilling. That world never came. And they say that a hero can save us. I'm not gonna stand here and wait. I'll hold on to the wings of the eagles. Watch as we all fly away. World isn't ending. It's love that I'm sending to you. It isn't the love of a hero, and that's why I fear it won't do. And they say that a hero can save us. I'm not gonna stand here and wait. I'll hold on to the wings of the eagles. Watch as we all fly away. And they're watching us. They're watching us as we all fly away. And they're watching us. They're watching us as we all fly away. And they're watching us. They're watching us as we all fly away.
Whoa. Love that song. Ladies and gentlemen, stay tuned to Revive FM. We've got many, many more amazing shows coming up after this. I've been Tom Hutchinson. He has been
Henry Scott.
And stay safe, mask up, wash your hands, wipe your face, keep 2 meters apart, do everything else we're supposed to be doing. And if you're good, we'll see you next week. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Could you look an intensive care nurse in the eyes and tell them you're staying at home? If you really need to go out, do you wash your hands the moment you get back? If you have to let someone in, like an emergency plumber, do you always open your windows to let in fresh air? Anyone can catch COVID-19. Anyone can pass it on. If we all stick to the rules, we can help stop the spread. Stay home. Protect the NHS. Save lives.
Did you know that girls like Noura walk an average of 3 miles every day in search of clean